I really like Dragon Ball fusions. There's something about them that you fuse two characters together. Not even Dragon Ball. You remember that thing on Pokemon where you could fuse Pokemon? It wasn't actually in the game, but it was a website. You could fuse Generation 1 Pokemon. That was the sickest thing in the world. Unfortunately with Dragon Ball Z, even though it was the creator of fusions, I like to think, there's barely any fusions in the series. We have Vegeta, we have Gotenks, and we have Gogeta. We have the Supreme Kai, the Kaioshin, but that's not enough! We need more! And thankfully, there is a game that has solved all of our problems. Unfortunately, it's a Japanese exclusive. Now I've been trying to keep clear of this game purely because I didn't want any of it spoiled, because eventually I was pretty confident that it would be coming over to English speaking countries. Thankfully it eventually did, and we do have our release date right here, but I just couldn't help myself. I ended up looking at all the fusions that were in the game, and I mean some of these are insane, like beyond comprehension. I'm going to show you some of these, and for those of you who know nothing about the game, I guarantee you're going to have your ass blown. Maybe your mind. Maybe that would have been a better word. So here we have our first fusion, and I'm not gonna lie, this guy is probably the weakest both in appearance and in strength, at least I would assume, out of them all. The other 6 are completely beyond reality. They don't even make any sense, but they're there and they exist. But for right now, I chose this guy just because I wanted to have one kind of exception and one kind of anomaly opposed to the rest, and he fits the bill quite well. Now normally with fusions you can kind of tell which two characters make up the one being, but again I think this is kind of an exception. We can see here that he has a tail, a red bandana and a scar, so it would be a huge giveaway to who at least one of them is, but the other half would be almost impossible to guess. And straight away seeing this, I thought it was Bardock maybe fused with Yamcha, maybe Gohan, but it actually turns out this is Bardock fused with Goku. And I guess the reason I couldn't see that is because I wouldn't expect two characters who look almost identical to come out looking any different, and to be fair, they don't. The only thing that's different is the hair. So I said earlier in this video that these other 6 fusions were inconceivable, beyond comprehension, and that they don't even make any sense. Let me introduce you to 5-man fusions. This is exactly what it sounds like, however you don't need to use the Portara earrings, you don't need to do the fusion ha. What you're seeing now is 5 individual characters do something we've never seen them do before, and that is a 5-man fusion. I also want to give massive credit to this channel right here for essentially uploading every single combination of the 5-man fusion. So I'm going to leave his link down below. If you want to see more combinations of the 5-man fusion even after this video, then be my guest. So straight away, one of the best 5-man fusions is the fusion of Goku and Beerus fusing with the fusion of Tien and Yamcha, fusing with the fusion of Bra, fusing with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, fusing with the fusion of Gotenks and Whis. If it wasn't clear already, you can fuse with fused characters, technically making it a 10-man fusion, but Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Bra, they weren't fused, so I guess maybe only an 8-man fusion. Now this is what I like to call the villain fusion. We have Cell, we have 2 custom characters I think, there's Frieza, and just take a look at this. I don't even know what that is, but it looks like it's going up against another 5-man fusion, and you know, there's always people going on about over-designed characters. It doesn't get much more over-designed than this, in a good way. Now I have a few more of these guys to show you. I'm going to count this one in as a separate category. The same fusion we just saw turned into a Great Ape because it had some Saiyan genes, and it was able to look at the moon, and as we all know, that's what happens when Saiyans look at the moon. So technically this is Frieza, Cell, and a few Saiyans as a Great Ape, while also crushing the life out of a fusion between Goku and Beerus. Now there had to come a point where there was an eventual Namekian fusion, or the majority of the characters were Namekian, and that is the case here. However, we do have a fusion of Beerus and Whis, and then right here we have what looks to be a fusion between Piccolo and Pikkon, and then another Namekian right here. Now this 5-man fusion is screaming Saiyan superiority. It's pretty much entirely made out of Saiyans, and the end result is nothing that you wouldn't expect. Still, very cool scenes, and unlike Dragon Ball Super, something in English finally. Now here I saved the best till last. As you can see, we have Hit in the fusion, and anything with Hit, especially when you introduce fusion, it's gonna be a winner. Not to mention, I think we have 2 variations of Goku along with Vados. The end result, hands down, the strongest fusion, or the strongest 5-man fusion that I've ever seen. Anyway, this has been 7 of the unseen Dragon Ball fusions, or at least unseen until this game comes out in English. I want to thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video, and until we meet again, I will see you in the next Dragon Ball video.